Hey everybody. Oh, I started off introducing myself.
It's fine. So hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. We've been getting a lot of views, which is very nice from you guys. I just please ask you to engage with the videos, subscribe and like the videos if you guys enjoy them. Today we have Darrell here from Philly. Hey Darrell, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey everybody. Happy to be here. I'm Darrell, from the Caribbean via Guyana and St. Lucia. Nowadays I live in Philadelphia, and I've known this guy Alexis for has it been like 6, 7 years now?
6, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a minute now.
Yeah, because I used to live in Philly. I lived in Philly for like a long time, and like I don't know, we met through a couch surfing event, I guess, right?
Yeah. Was it through did we meet at a party? Was it at like a couch surfing party?
There's so many of them, I think.
There are so many parties in like dark rooms, dark basements, and just a ton of
It's
alcohol.
just, but I like couch surfing, man. You met a lot of really cool people there, you
I
know.
meet a lot of people
It's
out
just
there.
sad what it became, like it became like I don't know what it became to be honest.
I think the
Just gonna put on
communities
my.
have broken down a little bit.
But what
But
happened, like it just became something completely different, right?
yeah, it's changed, and especially even from the Couchsurfing website. Like before, I remember I used to be able to go to the Couchsurfing website and I could talk to people, they could connect with me. Now you have to pay just to be able to sign in, which I remember seeing the drama around it because I used to use Couchsurfing a lot when I was like dead broke. I
Yeah.
really couldn't afford it to like pay for accommodations. But now it's like if I want, I could pay for like an Airbnb or a hotel. But then I stuck around for the community of people.
Yeah.
And I remember like the local Philly community had like a strong sense of community of people who have events and organize and they all knew each other. But that's broken up over the years. Like over the years, it started to slowly
But
fall.
I think what happened was people started, but some people got angry that people were using it to get laid. I
I
think that's what
mean,
happened.
I mean that was you put a bunch of young people together and add alcohol. It's
It's like, what do you expect? That's
yeah.
what's
What do
gonna
you
happen.
expect is going to happen? That's
But
something that's just gonna.
that's
But some
my,
people were predatory, right? Some people were a
yeah.
little predatory.
And that's just my theory. I could be wrong. But
I think also it's just that like a lot of the people who were young and were running the Philadelphia Couchsurfing, they were, when I joined, I was like in my mid 20s, but then we've all slowly grown up a little bit, and like some people have gotten married through Couchsurfing.
yeah, a lot of
You
people
know,
got married there.
yeah, a lot of people got married. They met people at Couchsurfing, they got married, and then they fell out of the community.
Yeah.
Some people have moved away. Some people have moved away abroad, just won't come back. And
I went around the world and came back and it's just
yeah,
gone.
you left. I still remember you told me and V. You're like, oh hey guys, I'm just going to Seattle for a little while, just going to do some farming. I'll be back in no time. 3 years later, not only did you went to Seattle, and I think you went back home, like you went to Argentina for a while.
I
Then
went to
next,
Australia for 2 years.
yeah, and then next thing I know, you popped up in Australia and you're just like working on construction sites for 2 years. Every time I'd see you on social media, I think you used to hashtag it like building Australia's future or something like that.
Yeah, I was building Australia, man. I went there and I built Australia
That was good. I'm envious. I'm
like a
jealous.
good old immigrant.
That's what immigrants do. We build up countries.
Yeah, I went there and I built like a bunch of skyscrapers.
I
But
was
that's when
jealous.
that's when I was there. That's when I started streaming. Actually, I bought my
Oh, okay.
first Elgato
Uh-huh.
HD. That's the one I use for streaming the games. It's called Elgato.
Uh-huh.
And I started like playing there. I was like, oh man, like I'm just gonna stream. Like I play a lot of games, so I might as well just stream them.
Yeah.
And that's how I
Oh,
got involved in the whole game streaming now.
mhm.
I stream
It's
like
really taken
almost.
off.
Huh?
It's really taken off, like game streaming, because
Yeah.
I remember years ago, my little brother, he used to like watch on YouTube people would put like playthroughs of a
Yeah.
game. So like from the beginning screen when it loads to the credits rolling. And I remember it was for some single player game. I saw him. He just had it on in the background on YouTube. He was doing something else on one screen and watching with one eye on the other screen. I remember looking at him going, "Why would you watch somebody else play the video game? That does
It's
not make
weird, man.
sense."
Yeah.
It was weird. But now I felt like even this up to this afternoon, like I see it now, like I kind of get it, the whole watching people, because I watch a lot of competitive Smash online. Like I watch people who play the characters I like to play to kind of get ideas on how they move, like what their strategy is on it. And now I see it's this multi-million-dollar industry where people are just playing video games and having other people like Twitch. Twitch is like $1 billion company from just people streaming video games. So it's changed.
Yeah, I have a Twitch, I have YouTube, and I stream on 3 platforms at once.
Yeah.
So when you
You
put
gotta right below, like down below the video, you gotta put a plug for your Twitch stream for people to check it out.
the what?
For your Twitch stream, you gotta put like right down here.
Oh, it's in the, you'll
my
see
Twitch
it.
stream.
It's already like I put it already, so all my videos are like, they have the description below.
It's all right. You're linking them all through. That's cool.
And once you get your channel, I'm just gonna come back and edit the description of this video, and we'll plug your channel there too. You know.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. For your audience who doesn't know, I'm into photography. I do a lot of photography, and I have been contemplating starting a photography channel for a while. So absolutely,
Yeah.
definitely link up.
You totally do it, man. You know, but
Absolutely.
like this gaming channel was like, it's, I think we've been getting a lot of views with the other guys, so it's been like nice to, that people are enjoying. We mostly talk about, it doesn't have to be just the modern games. We talk about like the previous games in the past.
Yeah, old school games.
Like old school games. Yeah, like I don't know if you've seen my friend Dan, man.
Honestly, I haven't been playing as many video games as I used to.
Mhm.
I feel like, because I remember there was a time where, Steam, right? I would log into Steam every day just to see like what's on sale. You get these games for like $2. Steam always had a sale. And I would buy all these games that I never ended up playing. But then slowly over time, I realized that I just wasn't having as much fun with them.
Yeah.
And I think it's because a lot of games, they recycle the same formula, right? But my golden age of gaming was from the NES days, I would say, up to like the GameCube, Nintendo Wii era.
Yeah.
Right around the Nintendo Wii time, that's when I slowly started dropping off playing as many video games as I used to.
The Nintendo, yeah, same with me, man. I play a lot. I mean, I used to play a lot, but now it's I still play a lot. I play a lot of Warzone, man. That fucking game. I'm like almost playing almost every day that game, but it's like a first-person shooting game.
Right.
And it's actually really fun when you play with somebody. I have with this friend I play, and we just like, it feels good because have you played battle royales before?
Yeah, I remember seeing the wave of battle royale games that came out.
Yeah, Warzone right now is probably like the most popular, I think.
Yeah, and it felt like there was always a new one coming out every week. And I think, so here's my thing, right? I just started getting, first of all, I loved shooters as a kid, but I feel like I have to play locally, either with friends or like people
in
that
person?
I know. Yeah, like playing just online with strangers, I've never enjoyed. From either it's, at least like when I play with friends, we're generally all at the same level. Like we're all equally as good or equally as bad, right?
Yeah.
But then you go online and you have like some 12-year-old kid who has nothing but time on his hands to play this video game and just destroys you.
Yeah. That's why I tell the guys, man, I'm never gonna touch FIFA again. Because you get on FIFA, man.
Yeah.
And you get beat like 20-0 by like this 12-year-old kid, man, and it pisses you off, like, at least I used to, I wouldn't get angry now, but I'm just like avoiding it, I'm like, why? There's no need for me to be like,
it's not
suffering.
Fun. It's not fun just getting smacked, like completely destroyed. If there's like, if it's like a close enough game and you see like, oh, just a little bit better than I could have won, that's fun. But if there's this like wide skill gap, That's no fun for anybody.
But how is it with Smash? Because you do play Smash. That's the one that you play. You still play constantly, right?
Yeah, I do play a lot of Smash. So I play a lot of online, especially when the pandemic started up. I started playing online a lot more, and it's really interesting to see. My little brother was telling me because I would play with him, and generally he was the better Smash player, right, before the pandemic started.
Before we keep going, remember I have this funny joke. Remember, because we used to say with friends, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go Smash tonight," you know.
Yeah, let's go Smash, bro.
And
Yeah,
people are
but
like, "What?"
we played Smash at my old apartment. You've come over a couple of times.
I smashed plenty of times there, man.
Yeah, but my
What were
little
you
brother
saying?
used to be better than me. But then the pandemic happened. I played with him again recently, and he turned to look at me after I just like completely destroyed him. He
Yeah,
just turned and looked like, "You've been practicing a lot, haven't you?"
yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
a
So
little
yeah,
bit.
I like playing online. I like what I like about playing online is sometimes you, though I guess they try to rank you by the same level roughly. Sometimes I'll
Mhm.
be doing good and have close matches. Then every so often I'll bump into someone online who just destroys me. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking 0 to death, back to back to back, like some really good people.
Yeah, man. I get frustrated when I play with those people, man.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the matches are just like really like they like pair you up with somebody like around the same skill level,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody will just come in and like with like fucking
Up you
Jigglypuff.
out.
Or like that's the worst, man, when they beat you with like somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like Jigglypuff or like some like well, you use Pikachu, right?
I my mains, so Pikachu used to be my main pre-pandemic. Post-pandemic, King DDD is now my main, my go-to. I don't know. Pikachu and I have been on the outs. Like, I feel like I used to control Pikachu really well, and we just like I just used to like me and the character were just in sync. Recently, the last couple of matches has been like on terms in terms of results, but King DDD, Pikachu, and Villager. Those are the
Yeah.
three I like to rotate between.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Who are those guys that we played last time? Remember you hosted like a tournament?
Yeah, those are the people I've been playing online with during the pandemic. Those are some friends of mine from St. Lucia.
Oh, okay.
So the pandemic hit, and I think they all got the game. Like they got switches and they got the game to pass the time in line.
Yeah.
Those are people that I used to play Smash 64 with when I was in high school.
Damn.
And the way it
Yeah,
used to,
I have some friends like that too from Guatemala. Like, we like started playing like with the first ones that came out.
yeah. And the way it
And
used to work, like because the way it used to work was that we'd leave high school, we'd leave the school, and there's what we call like the game shop, which was like it's not it was we call it an arcade or a game shop, and it's not that they just had like series of cabinet machines, although they had some like Street Fighter 2, Marvel versus Capcom, those kinds of games, but they also would like set up just a TV and plug in regular consoles in it, and it used to cost $1, right? So games like Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Mario Party, all these other racing games, Power Stone. It used to be $1 for 15 minutes of play. So you'd pay $1 and they would set up like the timer to 15 minutes and you would just play Smash Brothers, like four of us all at once for 15 minutes. And there'd just be like, I think I remember this one shop had just 4 TVs sitting outside. She'd put it outside benches and stools, and we'd just be spending money there.
would you skip school? Did you
Yeah,
skip
after
school?
school. This was after school, which was, and sometimes we would skip school to go play in
Yeah.
the
Who
afternoon.
didn't do that, man? I did that
Yeah,
too. But
those were my days, man.
I did that with the machines that you like play like this, Like they have
Mhm.
like a thing. I forgot what they're called.
Wait, the claw machines?
Yeah, the cutter machines, and then you have like a big joystick like this, and then you just like go like, you know.
Like the arcade stick ones,
Yeah,
right?
arcade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
arcade.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like Street Fighter was on those. I remember another popular one was Marvel versus Capcom. That was really popular. But I was never good at those 2D fighters
Yeah.
because you know how those 2D fighters have like the movements of the joysticks. You have to do like a quarter moon or down back. It's like down, down, forward, back, forward. I could never remember all those moves worse yet, like perform them reliably. I just couldn't do it. So I always stayed away from them. That's why Smash Brothers was like so much better, because the moveset, Smash is such an easy game in terms of like the concept, but then the complexity can like start rising over time.
Yeah.
Like it's like a simple concept. You have like modern Smash, you have basically two types of attacks: regular attacks and special attacks. You know, the direction you want to go in. You can shield, you can dodge, you can jump. But then there's so many little things like L canceling, you know, they're like short hops, you can time things differently. You
What is
know,
that wave dash too, man? I think, right?
oh man,
What is
I could never,
that?
didn't they, that was a GameCube thing, right? I think you could
Yeah.
only dash in the GameCube. I could never do the wave dash. I never figured that one out.
I've seen some matches, man, where like they play with Fox and he just like never touches the ground.
Yeah,
How's that possible?
madness, that's how. Like when
Just
you're playing the GameCube, I feel like the GameCube one is still considered a lot of people still consider it like the definitive version of Smash, like
yeah,
the
but
Smash.
isn't that like a cult? Like,
A what?
is that like a cult? Like
A
a
cult?
cult of people?
I mean, people still play it to this day. People still have GameCubes and
No,
Smash.
I know, but like, and they like shit talk like the new all the new Smash Bros that have been released. They like shit talk them, right?
Yeah, some people don't like the newer ones. You know, they think that the old, but with any game you'll find that. Like
But why
even,
is that Melee specifically so good? Like according
you
to
know,
you?
I think it's because Melee has. I think Melee just has a mechanic, like the series of mechanics of the game and movement were defining, because there's the N64 one, right? The N64 one was almost like a trial, and then they were successful. And then they said, oh, okay, like we got something here. They really took the success of the N64 one and then made the perfect vision of what Smash Brothers could be. And all the others since then, like Brawl came out, and I remember that game had a tripping mechanic. Like if you dashed in one direction and then quickly turned around in the other, there's a chance you could trip and fall. And the competitive fighting scene just didn't like that. Um, you know, I think Smash 4 was well received, but people just keep playing Melee. People just love the game. You know, it's a classic.
Yeah,
You can't mess with the classics.
yeah. No, no, I think they still hold like tournaments and stuff like that, man.
Absolutely. And
That's
people figure out how to like host tournaments online through emulators. Like Melee is still definitely has a lot of life left in it.
damn, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's Melee, man. It's classic. It's classic.
Hold on,
But
just there's like a siren, just like can you hear it?
no, I can't hear it coming through.
Okay, it just passed. It was like annoying sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, Smash is definitely I have it. I just like, I just like play mostly right now like the Warzone, and I'm trying to get through Resident Evil. I don't know if you have you heard of that one? You have PS4, right?
No, I don't have a
The
PS4.
Switch right now, right?
Yeah, just a Switch. The last I had a PS3, and I just, you know, by the time the PS4 came around, what I realized with my PS3 was that I would buy games and then play them for like maybe an hour or so and never complete them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, should I get a PS4? But then I'm just not going to invest the amount of time playing the games, because I just don't play as many video games as I used to.
Yeah, because
It's
of
just,
work and stuff like that, right?
yeah, I think it's a matter of, we were talking earlier about like starting up, you know, podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff. It's just, I think there are other things that I want to do as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like I have spent in my youth hours on video games, right? Like if I open up I remember there's this one game on Steam, Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, I know about that game. Yeah.
I racked up hours. I would play a heavy. Usually I play a heavy or a spy. And I just racked up hundreds of hours on that game. Like
Yeah.
I remember I got it. I remember it was the summer of 2008. That was the first summer I came to the States and I started college. And I think I purchased it to get because Valve had the orange box, which was like it had, I think, Half-Life 2, Portal, and Team Fortress, maybe
Yeah.
some other games on it. And I think I purchased it just so I could play Half-Life 2 again, like I had a laptop that was better than the old desktop I had when Half-Life 2 came out. So I had to replay with like all the graphics settings turned up, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Portal was fun. Portal was like an immediate hit and classic. But then I was like, what's this Team Fortress 2 thing? All right, I guess I'll check it out. And I was hooked. I was immediately hooked. So I played that for years. And I think it's just time goes by and it's like, you know what? I spent hundreds of hours doing this. It was fun. But there are other things that I want to do.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I feel you, For me, it's just like I still play a lot of games and I just love but I go on the forums,
Mhm.
like the gaming forums, man. And it's so funny how like some people like go out of their way to defend like companies and stuff like that.
Right.
So for example, I'll call out like the Nintendo because I'm like, man, these guys are like they have like a nice system. They have like a lot of like nice franchises. Like
Yeah.
did you ever play F-Zero?
F-Zero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have that. They have a lot of games, man, and they just keep releasing the same like Mario stuff. So I go on the forums, and I'm like trolling, I'm like, hey man, like, these guys are so lazy, like they don't like come up with like the other franchises, they just like copy paste like a lot of this like same. I mean, I get it, from like a business perspective, it makes sense,
Yeah.
because you're not putting a lot of effort into like building like a new game. You're just grabbing the same assets from Smash Brothers, and you
Yep.
put it with the engine of like of the
Put
new
in an
Super
upgraded
Mario,
engine.
and then you have like a Yoshi game, or you have a Kirby game.
Mhm.
It's really smart, it makes sense.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like Nintendo, I remember people have been talking about like, oh, Nintendo's about to go out of business. People have been saying Nintendo's going to go out of business for decades now. But they know that if you want to play a Mario game or a Zelda game, a Kirby game, a Yoshi game, which it's so I feel like for a lot of us that's tied up into like our childhood and nostalgia.
Yeah,
If you want to play it, the only place you can play it is on a Nintendo
it's on
console.
Nintendo system.
That's
Yeah.
and Nintendo first party titles, they rarely go to the discount bin. Like you can look for what's the game that came out on the Switch like 3 years ago, like Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild,
That
Mario
thing still
Odyssey.
goes for a full $60. Like they're never going to discount it because they know if you want to play Breath of the Wild, the only place you can play it is on their console, and that's the
Yeah.
only experience you're gonna get like it. So
No, I think they're like very smart business.
yeah, absolutely.
Because you're just like putting the least amount of effort and you're getting the most amounts of profit. I
Yeah.
get that.
And Nintendo has I remember when they've also taken a lot of risk. They take like very strategic risks
Yeah.
because remember when the Nintendo DS came out? Like
Yeah.
the funny thing is the Nintendo DS was cheap to produce. It wasn't the most powerful handheld console. There was the PlayStation Portable, which had better graphics. But the Nintendo DS had like the dual screen mechanic thing, and Nintendo took a risk on using some of their like classic characters in new ways to play. And
That
that
was
thing
really
was,
smart. Yeah.
yeah, remember the meme like it prints money? It was like
Who?
I think Satoru Iwata and I forget the and Shigeru Miyamoto. They were like just piles of money behind them with the Nintendo DS held up and just like
And
printing
printing,
dollar
it's
bills out.
printing money. Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing sold so many games and so many console.
I honestly think the DS and the GameCube were probably my favorite. The Switch too is pretty good.
Yeah, the
I
Switch is
just feel
so
like they
soft.
abandoned it a little bit, because they haven't released like any like big games besides the normal ones.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm waiting, hopefully Metroid Prime 4.
Man, I've been waiting till like I would jump to play for Metroid. I like they announced it, then it like what 2 years passed, and then the only announcement was sorry, it's delayed. You know, yeah, I sent you the meme for it's a
They're
principle.
still hiring people. Imagine that.
Man, but that's the other good thing too is that when it comes out, you know it'll be good, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
when
gonna
is the
be.
last time Nintendo released a bad first party game?
Yeah. I mean, they had some like I think the people they got a lot of like blast for I think the Mario Party game. I think they said that one was like a very lazy,
Mm.
game.
A friend of mine was just asking me about playing Mario Party. He's told me like they just released an update to allow online play, which I found. So I'm like, wait, what do you mean they released an update? Why was online play just not part of it from the get?
Part of it from the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems. It's not like also Nintendo has done other online games, Smash is online, Mario Kart's online. Like that just seems so strange.
Yeah, it's just well, that's what they do, man. They do some weird things sometimes because
They truly do some inexplicable things, but
so I just like to point out that stuff, those things, those inconsistencies with people, and people go crazy, man. But that's because they can hide behind the screen, and be like, do
yeah,
that.
of course.
So I get that part. I don't take when they like shit talk to me either, because for me it's like just for fun.
Yeah, it's like the topics that people get so worked up about. It's only because they're behind a screen and a keyboard that they like. If this was a story in the newspaper, first of all,
Yeah.
most people wouldn't have read it. Or if it was on TV, even the news, most people have just gone, shrugged their shoulders, and moved on with their day. But now that there's a place like where you can have your own soapbox and air your opinion on the internet anytime, people go crazy for that stuff.
Yeah, I put up a video about Metroid Prime 4 being delayed, and this guy like gave me we went on like for like 10 comments. I just had like no more like patience. I'm like, all right, fuck this guy, like I'm not like gonna reply anymore.
Yeah.
But it's all fun and games, man.
Yeah, you can't take it too seriously. Although,
It's all fun and games until somebody fucking shows up at your house.
until you get doxxed. So I'm looking at my brokerage account. I invested in some Nintendo stocks. Man, I'm losing money on
You have
it.
stock in Nintendo?
Yeah, I bought
How
stock.
much is it now? Let's have a look.
It's $71.89 as of close market today. I've lost $118.39 on Nintendo. This last time I looked at it, I was up some amount of money. It was in the green, but oh well.
You gotta get into crypto. You have like crypto too, right?
Yo, I am making a killing on Dogecoin right now.
Dogecoin? Nice.
And the funny thing is, this was last December. I was actually just trying to buy Bitcoin. I was trying to buy fractional Bitcoin. And I just had some cash left over from the Bitcoin transaction. I was like, oh yeah, this Dogecoin thing, like this is a joke currency. But I looked at the price and I'm like, oh, I think they were up past a cent, right? I think they were like 2 or 3. Not actually, yeah, they were at like 2 or 3 cents. I was looking at it thinking, oh, I remember when Dogecoin wasn't even a cent. They've come a long way now to be at.
It was like 0.001 cent.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth a penny.
I saw a story of it.
I saw it was at like 3 cents and thought, oh, okay, I had like maybe $10 left over for my Dogecoin, my Bitcoin transaction. And that $10 just gets you thousands and thousands of Dogecoin. And I had it just sat there. And then I saw it tick up. This was like what, in January or February? It like went up to 5, then it went up to 8. I'm like, oh, okay. Came down a little bit, then went to like 13, came down a little bit. And I kept buying more and more. And now the price, like, what is it now? Last I looked at it, I think
it's like 32 cents. It's up a lot.
It's back up to 32 cents. Yes, that's good. I love that a meme basically became real money.
Yeah. Yeah, 32 cents right now.
Oh, no, 33 cents.
And I feel like that's gonna keep going, man. It's gonna hit $1 at some point.
I think it's gonna hit $1 by the end of the year. I feel like it's gonna hit $1 because never bet against the internet. Never bet against the internet. And right now, Dogecoin is the money of the internet.
Dude, have you heard of these things called NFTs too?
Yeah, I've heard of NFTs. I understand what they're doing, and I don't know necessarily about the resale value of buying an NFT, but I think it's an interesting turn of technology because it's like all it does is say it's just like proof that you are the original owner of a piece of art, right?
That's it, right?
That's it. And you don't actually, it's not like you have the only copy. It's like someone could make a JPEG, sell it to you and say, all right, you can buy access to it and say you are the original owner. But other people can still copy it, have it on their computers, put it up on websites. But I think what's interesting about NFTs is not necessarily for the monetary value they have now. Like I see the first tweet got sold for like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely an NFT bubble that's gonna pop. Like the first tweet that sold now probably retain its value for whatever reason. But what I think is interesting is like, oh, so if we're saying that us as human beings in society accept that we can prove ownership just by using the blockchain technology, what does that mean for like selling a house? Can I, instead of selling you like a digital thing, can I easily sell you a house over the blockchain and your ownership is proved on the blockchain? So there's no like the paperwork got lost. There's no like, oh, someone stole it from me, because all these computers around the world have the same ledger on the blockchain. So it's like, it's just embedded, like I am the owner of this house or this car. And if I then sell it further, like you can track, like I owned it, then I sold it to someone else, they owned it, and I sold to someone else, they owned it. So I think it's an interesting piece of technology. I also think it's interesting that for artworks created, every time like an NFT is sold, the original creator gets a cut when they sell it. So it's like, you should make some NFTs, man. You should do an auction for solve some of your YouTube videos.
I went online to buy some. I was gonna create like I was thinking about creating like a marketplace, but all the domains that I was thinking in my mind, all of them are already bought.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but you can go and sell like I need to research more, man, because I might be able to like just come up with anything like or sell like I mean for you especially since you have a lot of pictures, man. You can
Yeah,
sell your pictures.
yeah. So sell them as NFTs.
You can sell the 5 screens.
Yeah, and hey, I want to get a Raspberry Pi. So on this wall right here, I want to get a Raspberry Pi and make so a 6 screen that will show like stock market info. It'll show the weather, news headlines, connected up to a little Raspberry Pi.
Is that really the purpose there, or is there a hidden agenda behind the screens?
It can show other things if it wants. It can show anything it wants. And if I use my cell phone, count my cell phone as a screen, I can get up to 7 screens.
Darrell, I have a 40-minute limit on the thing because I have the basic Zoom.
Okay.
And I think that's good for like a first podcast. Hopefully we'll see more of you in the future,
Absolutely. Invite me back again. I'll come over. Next time I come over, hopefully I'll have my own YouTube channel up and running.
Yeah, let me know if you need help at least with any of the stuff, setting it up, or I have a lot of ideas,
All right, yeah, that sounds great.
So,
that sounds perfect.
Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys on the next one.